Okay, today is January 2nd, and I got up this morning at 2:22. It's kind of weird because I'm starting to see those numbers with me again. It was like, at first I used to see, and I saw these for like the last three, I want to say during this whole time I've been going through this, like the last 5 years. During my transition, I've been seeing one, 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 one. Then I would see nine, 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 just a two, 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 five, 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 four, four, like that. I would see all the numbers all in sequence. It was creeping me out, and so I was like, "What is going on?" And I remember the promise that God made me that He would never leave me nor forsake me, and who gives up their life for the kingdom of God will gain it. And whoever tries to keep their life is going to lose it. And this is what I remember. It was a lot of stuff that God showed me, like, and I didn't. When I first got it, I was so excited, and I was like, waiting on it to come and fall in my lap, and it didn't happen. This has been years as everything has been manifesting, like not slowly, but it's in God's timing, and so it's perfect timing because I'm able to hold the weight. So anyhow, this morning. Oh yeah, God was just telling me, letting me know, like, He never gives you. He's been letting me know this last, I'm gonna say these last 30 days, 60 days, matter of fact. You can never be better to Him than He is to you. So if you gave up something for God and you were so serious and you were so passionate about it, that God is going to bless you. So my life was like, I was just like, God, when I was going through everything, even before that, I wanted to serve God, like, serve God, serve God. Whatever I was supposed to do, I wanted to do it, and I was so sincere, and I was so serious about it. So, going through this transition, of course, I'm not homeless anymore, and I work at a shelter, and I got other jobs or whatever, and I'm like, okay, God, you told me to do this and do this shift and do this, and I'm working two jobs, and I got a business, and you told me to move into this area, and what am I doing now? I'm still I feel the pain, but I'm still moving because I've seen some of the manifestation, and not only that, I know what God says is to be true. It has to be true. It might not even come, through my lineage. It might be through my future or through my past, through my family, something like that. So anyhow, so I got up this morning. Oh, I will tell you this, okay, because I wasn't going to go. New Year's Day, I was working New Year's Day, New Year's Eve through the New Year, I was working. And I was like, I really wanted to relax and, be around people and just have nice, calm conversations. And, but I was like, thank God for me having a job. I was like, you know what, because I didn't have a way to, it was a time where I could not feed myself. Like, literally, I would go out there and apply, and nobody would hire me. So, I was like, thank God for that, and I just was thankful for everything. Just like, it takes you on a whole nother level of thankfulness. Even if you were thankful before, going through this process, it takes you on a whole nother level of thankfulness, and not only that, but a dependence on God. You are totally dependent on it because there's no way that you should have got out of it, because there are still some people that are still stuck in that position, and how you were able to elevate through it, and not only elevate through it, but to look like nothing ever happened to you. That was the blessing that God gave me. It looked like nothing ever happened to me. People thought I was still right here when I was going through hell, and God made it that way. Just He made it that way. So anyhow, when I got off, I went and I went to the day we had a New Year's Eve bash at the condos or at the loft that we live in. So I was just like, I don't know if I should go over there. Some of those people are older. They're so friendly, but if you've been hurt before by especially older people and older women, it makes you want to step back. Like, I was trying to do the right thing. I was trying to get experience and things like that. And I was not only rejected, I was tormented. Like, that's literally what happened to me. I was tormented. So I was like, I was not going to open myself and go to this party. But God was just letting me know, like, to relax. You need to relax. And I was trying to turn to other people to go to their parties and stuff, and nobody wasn't answering by then. Because, you know, most people are asleep around that time because they party through the New Year. So, anyhow, I was like, I'm going to go. And plus, I don't want to cook and blah, 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 whatever. And the lady who arranged it, she wanted me to come, so I went down there. And let me tell you, that was the best thing ever because they were so welcoming. It was no stress, no nothing. And then it was almost like God promised to me, like, see, I told you. That's how I felt. Like, God was like letting me know, like, I told you, I got you. Like, you had to go through that to understand, but you're getting wisdom now. You're getting wisdom now. Like, everybody is not able to sit at your table, but the ones who will, the ones who I assign you to sit at that table, they're going to love you. They're going to show you, they're going to give you open arms, and they're going to be willing and able to propel you to the next dimension. As I'm talking and I'm telling them what my story is and what, not only, I wasn't even telling my story, we were just sitting there talking literally, just having a nice conversation, talking about football and the food because the food was great. And let me tell you, this lady, man, she could cook, like really, she could cook. She knows a lot of Creole things because she lived in Louisiana, white woman, sweet, the sweetest person ever. But yeah, it was so opening, and they started talking about the makeup that I had on my face. I don't have any on there anymore, but I started telling them about, you know, how I made it, whatever. So the editor, they were like, oh, you need to talk to so and so. They're gonna connect me. They were like one speed dial. It wasn't like, oh, I had to go approve this or I had to contribute to their cause and you know, donate a whole bunch of things, which I'm not even in the position to do all that. You know, I do donate sometimes and go to shelters and do projects, but I wasn't forced to do it. They just wanted to see me succeed. And they led me to this woman who lives in my building, and she's the editor of one of the magazines here in this city. It's like a well-known magazine here. So she yeah, it was just crazy. So I was just like, wow, like, God, like, okay. So, and I got in the house after I got finished because I stayed longer than I thought I was. And I lay down and I was like, you know what, God, thank you so much. Thank you for that peace of mind, you know, because not only that, when I went through work, I was going through HE double hockey sticks, and I had to curse the spirit that was going around there, you know, but, And my whole mindset was changed. It was tainting everything. But I'm so glad that God moved through that because that was nobody but God that had me to go through that whole thing and had me be able to relax. And not only that, she opened up how she was talking about how it was so good to be around women friends and, you know, it's harder to make friends. And even the editor was telling me, like, it's harder to make female friends as you get older, friends, period. Because it's things that you want in life that a lot of people don't want, or they just it's crazy. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, you know what? She was like, I'm so glad to have friends. And I was like, oh, really? Like, I was so happy. But I was like, I just started laughing. I was like, I don't even like myself. And she was like, you know, retract it. And she started explaining how she went through these obstacles in her 20s, and because they think. So they started talking about that, and it opened me up and to let me know that I'm not the only one that goes through these things. Like, I'm really not, you know. And if you're about anything or developing yourself, because all these, excuse me, all of these women were accomplished. When you're trying to develop yourself, you're going to start noticing people, especially if you're not around in that area of people who are even remotely thinking about that. I've always been thinking about developing myself because eventually when I get older, there's not going to be that much time to do that. You know, you're going to be putting into others. So that was my thing, you know, my part of living my best life, you know, investing in myself, being the best Vel that I could be, letting my light shine so other people can see, without fear, rejection, hesitation, all that. And that didn't happen. You get attacked. You get attacked because a lot of people are not going through that path yet. And many people choose not to go through that path at all. They get so comfortable as being people pleasers or following the crowd to the point where they don't excel and they don't go to where they need to go. So she was explaining to me about that, and she said it took her years to start loving herself, and she didn't like herself. And I was just like, when I say it opened my eyes, it opened my eyes because to me, I thought that this woman, she's an older lady, but I thought she was beautiful. I thought she was gorgeous. And not only that, she has this bubbly personality. Her personality reminds me of myself. And she is very determined. The only thing is that's different from me and her, she is super direct. And I think you have to get that way when you get to a certain age. When you start getting older, I'm understanding that some of my downfalls is not being direct, not going after what you want directly, because it will hinder you. And when you are direct, it separates a lot of clowns from the real people. Yeah, so anyhow, so it opened up a lot of doors, and I'm so grateful. So I know I wasn't even supposed to go that deep, but it's leading to something, y'all. Please bear with me. Yeah, so I go home and I thank God, and I'm like, you know what? Not only that, they were like, look, they was trying to set me up through the whole thing. Like, look, you young. They was like, you need anything, blah blah. It's like they were really setting me up. Like when I say setting me up, not as I'm a charity case or something like that. Nothing. I mean like emotional, spiritual, physical. Being there. So that was beautiful. I was just like, God, thank you. It was things that I thought that I didn't want, that I actually did want, that I needed. The people that I thought were going to be, and they were so churchy, it turned out not to be even of God. God showed me that, like, not even of God. And, I was grateful for that experience and still grateful for the growth. So, anyhow, go to sleep. I get up at 2:22. I've been getting up at different times, and I was like, I don't know if it's because I'm working 2 different jobs and I'm working different hours, and, I've been working over 60 hours a week. I don't know. But what I do know is that I've been waking up at 222, 333, and definitely 444. 444, like cooperation. I was seeing 555, and 5 was giving me, like, letting me know that it was grace. That's what I was getting, like, inside of me, in the spirit. Like, I knew that was God letting me know that was grace. Like, he was showing me things that I had messed up on. That I was like, Lord, forgive me. And it was like 555, like grace. Not only that, it was showing me grace that I've shown to other people. Like, this is why, like, you're not doing that bad. Because I was like, I'm doing horrible. I'm being a horrible representation of God. I'm being a horrible representation of God. And I'm taking so long in this process when I know what God had for me to do. Like, nobody can tell me what God told me to do. So I was just, like, so sad now, so, like, burning down. But like I said, God, like, confronted me, like, it's okay. I'm still in control. So don't worry about it. Like, I'm the author of time. I'm gonna make it right. Don't worry about it. Like, you ask for forgiveness. That's what you're supposed to do. Turn to me, lead to me, and I'm gonna make it right. So, okay. So I go to sleep, like I told you. I woke up at 2:22. And I'm like, okay, God, you've been telling me to do this program and to do this thing. I'm going to get up right now, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to get up, and I'm going to do it. Walk my dog. I walked my dog. I was like, because my dog was sitting on my lap. She was just laying. She's a lap dog. She's a Shih Tzu. So she was laying on my lap as I was asleep, got up. And 'cause she didn't even go. If she doesn't have to go in any of her beds, she's not gonna go. She's gonna try to lay right there with me. And sometimes I need that. So we get up and we go and we walk. We let her out or whatever, and we walk into the park. As I'm going to the park, I see this car. All of a sudden, it was quiet. All the cars were off. All of a sudden, the car went on. It was like, and the car turned on, and it was like a whole bunch of heat. And I was like, I saw the smears on the window, and I was like, I remember that. I remember that. I remember when I was homeless, and I was outside, and sometimes you get so afraid because people try to rob you. I had a person try to rob me in this hoopty. I had sold my BMW and sold it down to this dowel. If you guys seen a dowel or dawel, some people say dawel, I say dowel, but it's DAEWOO. And this car, it's almost like a Kia, but it was a 2001, was it a 2001 dowel? Yeah, so 2000 or 2001. I can't even remember which year, but it was right there. It was silver, and it was was it a two-door? No, it was a four-door. It was a four-door, and I remember being asleep. I remember that time being in there. I'm not even gonna go super details. Maybe later. But so when I saw this car, I'm like, okay, well, maybe they're going to sleep. And you see that a lot in this area. So a lot of people will go into places to try to get some rest because it's cold outside. You can't sleep under a bridge. For one, you'll get frostbitten. And for two, they will find you. You will go to jail for a good amount of time just trying to get some rest. You know, so especially since they built downtown like really up and really nice and stuff like that. So they want to keep that a tourist attraction. So anyhow, I walked past, and God was just telling me like to go back and check back, and I was like, okay. And I went and I checked, and they were still kind of scared, but they were still like laying down, and you could tell they were really, really close. I'm like, God, what am I supposed to do? So God was telling me to go over to them, and I was like, I'm not going over to them. These people can rob me. Like, you know, working at a shelter that deals with the homeless has opened my eyes. I'm not naive anymore. These people will take advantage of you. They will lie to you. They will, you know, even though they need help and they desperately need help, there are some people that will literally take advantage of you, and really, really hurt you. I've been through those situations. I had a person that literally sold me right underneath my nose, y'all. It was, when I say right underneath my nose, right underneath my nose. It was, now thankfully, it was the people that were going through these same trials, some of the same people who were homeless. Some of those people started noticing, and they told me, don't go here. This is what they're doing. And I didn't believe them until, you know, you laugh because you're like, no, that can't happen. But it does, y'all. It does. Yeah. So anyhow, I finally get up the courage because it took me I walked my dog because I kept walking my dog for like 20 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to walk this out, God, because, you know, I've been through situations when I try to help people and help them become better, and they will attack me, and they will, it's really hard. It's really hard. And it's like, how can you help somebody who is trying to hurt you? So I don't want to go through that, you know. So, you know, so I went there. I asked them, you know, how was everything? And, you know, I was about to, like, something jumped at me like, okay, they're homeless, you know. You've been there. You wanted somebody to open their house up, you know, and people open their homes up to you. Open your home up to them. And I was like, okay. And then something stopped me. I don't know what this was. I don't know if it was my conscience or if it was God, but it gave me like, it was like, no, you don't know. And when I started talking to them, I noticed that it wasn't 2 of them, it was 4 of them. And the more I started asking them questions, I started hearing inconsistencies, a little bit of inconsistencies. It wasn't like direct forward questions, you know. So I was like, you know what can I do in the meantime? So I gave them blankets because I asked them if they want blankets. They're like, yeah. You know, and then as I was going for the blankets, I was like, you know what? I did hear something tell me to open my house to them, welcome them. You know, but I was like, okay, Bill, is that me or is that spirit? You know, and I prayed about it. I was like, you know, because God sometimes God will have you to move, and other times God have you move in different ways. Sometimes you try to push the button, and like I said, I've had the ball drop when that happened. So I just prayed, and I was like, you know what, God, I'm just gonna give them these blankets because I asked them did they need any food, were they hungry, or anything. They were like, we can get food at the mission, and you could see the snippiness. So I was just like, okay, God, if I was supposed to let them in my house, please forgive me. But right now, I don't feel comfortable. Like, help my heart if I'm supposed to do it. And if I was supposed to not let them come in, thank you, God, for letting me know. And I gave them, I went down there, I gave them the blankets, especially my favorite one. I was really didn't want to part with that one, but yeah, my yellowy. But I was like, you know, they needed more than I do, and God has blessed me with other blankies. So, yeah, and went on upstairs. So, which made me make this video because afterwards it was like that whole tension. I didn't feel okay when God speaks to you and you disobey. It's a difference. Like He will pursue your heart. He will press on it. It'll still be nagging you. It will still be nagging you. And sometimes we get mixed up with that. And now I know, thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you, God. I know that that's wisdom now. That God has given me wisdom. You know, when the enemy comes, the enemy presses you to try to rush things, like to rush, to hurry up. God, He never rushes things. He never rushes. Not to say that He doesn't do things instantly or immediately, but He never has you to do things that go outside of His will, for one. Even if the outcome looks like of God, it's not. It will not go outside of the will of God. The process will resemble God. It will resemble God. But the enemy, what he does is tries to press you to move forward and try to be antsy, you know. And I thought about it. Now I'm like, I was so at peace. I'm so at peace now. Like, after I gave them blankets and left it like that. And I'm thinking about it now. Like, had I let them in, they could have robbed me. They could have took my things, even though it's like surveillance in this place. But I could have lost my life, you know. Yeah. And plus my dog my dog was not having it. Even though my dog is already cautious of other people, that's why I like my dog. But she definitely wasn't having that. So, yeah, God just gave me wisdom. And like I said, I know that me going through this was not a coincidence. You know, God didn't just wake me up. Yes, I probably was supposed to deliver those blankets because that's what they needed. You know, you have to give people what they need, not what they want or not what you think that they need. You know, I had a woman who was trying to invite me to her house. That's not what I needed. You know, God sent her in my life, and she's no longer living, but God sent her in my life for a specific thing. Even though, you know, I didn't believe in all that she believed in. It's like you have to give people what they need. And that's the wisdom in it, because you're not God. When you try to overstep and give them what you think that they need instead of what they need, then you, for one, wasting your time, you're robbing their time, you're robbing your time, and you're not letting God open their hearts to see what else do they need, or to lean on Him, you know. Yeah, I'm going to get off of here, but I did want to make that known, and because like I said, I don't believe in coincidences anymore, and I'm sure somebody can use that. Hopefully something I said or done can help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem, and thank you so much.